time since 2006. And this crowd is ready, braving some chilly conditions. 29 degrees as we approach kickoff, and with the wind out of the west at 15 miles per hour, the wind chill factor makes it feel like it's 19 degrees. Not hard to believe when you look at that fan. Earlier today, the winds were gusting close to 40 miles per hour. Oakland won the toss and deferred. They're going to take that wind at their back as they'll go from our left to our right as we look down to start the game. Philadelphia will receive the opening kickoff. Giorgio Tavecchio getting ready to kick off for Oakland. And dressed for the weather, Corey Clement and Kenyon Barner back deep. And Monday Night Football on Christmas night is underway. With that wind, a good kick about 6 yards deep into the end zone and down by Kenyon Barner. So here comes Nick Foles. Made his first start of this season for Philadelphia last week at the Giants and played very well. Led them to a come-from-behind victory through 4 touchdown passes without an interception. 28 years old, the native of Austin, Texas, out of the University of Arizona. Started his career with the Eagles, a third-round draft choice in 2012. And Lisa just told you about his travels. Back in Philadelphia, happy to be here. And hoping to lead this franchise to their first NFL championship since 1960. Play fake on first down and a long throw, single coverage intended for Nelson Aguilar, and he was well covered by T.J. Carey.
You know, Nick Foles has the confidence of his teammates. He's not quite as athletic, obviously, as Carson Wentz. You won't see as many bootlegs, scramble plays, or zone reads, but he can get it done in the pocket. And they have a talented group of receivers and a very strong running game. And the Eagles, Sean, have been a fast-starting offense.
They lead the league in points per game. Just more than 31 points per game put up by Philadelphia. Quick throw by Foles on target for a 5-yard gain. Torrey Smith to catch. Crowd wants a flag for extracurriculars out of bounds. Dexter McDonald there for Oakland. Here's a look. 2 very good offensive lines in this game. The strength of the Eagles offensive line now on the right, where both Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson will go to the Pro Bowl for the first time. Jay Ajayi has supplanted LeGarrette Blount as the starter at running back, but we should see plenty of Blount tonight as well. Deep and talented receiving group, both at the wideout spots and among the 3 tight ends. Corey Clement, the running back, on 3rd down and 5, and Foles' throw is too high. Looking for Zach Ertz, heading to his first Pro Bowl, and it's a quick 3 and out for Philadelphia.
Nice job by the Raider defense. Carl Joseph, former first-round pick, with good coverage on Zach Ertz. You're going to see Ertz pivot right over his outside shoulder. He slipped out of the break, and there's Carl Joseph, an ex-number-1 pick out of West Virginia.
Jalen Richard back for the punt from Donnie Jones. Kicking into the wind, and a fair catch made by T.J. Carey. So far, good decision by Jack Del Rio to defer. Took the wind and has excellent field position. So here comes Derek Carr. Last year, he was the gift that kept on giving for almost the entire year. Came to the Pro Bowl, the 12-3 record, 28 touchdowns, 7 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter overtime. But this season, the proverbial lump of coal. 6 and 7. Still a very good touchdown-interception ratio. No come-from-behind magic this year. And to be fair to Derek Carr, it's been a collaborative effort as far as the reasons why they've been disappointing. A lot of drop passes, really falling short in just about every facet of the game. Marshawn Lynch, the ball carrier, and he's ahead for 2 on first down.
Well, how healthy is Derek Carr, really? I mean, he broke 3 bones in his back at midseason. They're going to try to stay with Marshawn Lynch tonight as much as possible. Run the ball between the tackles and set up some play-action passes. But keep an eye on this offensive line. They've had some injuries. Pro Bowl left tackle Donald Penn is out. And they're starting a rookie, David Sharp, at left tackle. This is the first time I've seen Sharp play for the Raiders ever.
He's number 71, the left tackle. Here's Lynch. Running behind a still talented offensive line, despite the fact that Donald Penn is not playing tonight at left tackle. They still have 2 Pro Bowlers playing tonight. The left guard, Kelechi Osemele, and the center, Rodney Hudson, who battled through a painful kidney stone to play against Dallas last Sunday night. Backs and receivers. Amari Cooper is dressed, but he's been hobbled lately with an ankle injury. Did not play against Dallas last Sunday night, and Jack Del Rio told us he'll be limited in terms of the number of snaps tonight. Here's Seth Roberts lunging for the 50-yard line and the first down, and it looks like he has it from our vantage point.
The quick passing game. It's going to be a big part of this game. Obviously, the Raiders, with the injuries on the offensive line, rely on Marshawn Lynch. Keep yourself in third down and medium and use the quick passing game. Was that a good spot? I don't know.
I thought Christmas night you were going to be a little kinder and gentler. You almost made it 3 minutes. 12 minutes to go. Here comes a Philadelphia blitz in the first quarter. Carr dumps it off short. And it's the tight end Lee Smith yanked down immediately.
And already Jim Schwartz substituting on his defensive line. The Eagles have 8 defensive linemen that have played over 160 snaps. Very uncommon. They try to keep their men as fresh as possible. There's Jim Schwartz. What a job he's done as the defensive coordinator here in Philadelphia.
Far and away the leading rush defense in the league. Oakland said it will try to run the ball, and they'll stick with the run tonight. It's hard to do against the Eagles. They give up just 71.5 rushing yards per game. Give it to Lynch again, and that's a hard-earned 2.
Marshawn Lynch is very interesting. He retires from football past the age of 30. Not many running backs sit out after the age of 30, come back and have over 700 yards. I think it's important they stay with Lynch. They have come out here tonight and run him 4 times already with vintage Marshawn Lynch runs between the tackle. Don't get too cute against this Philadelphia defense because they play these wide 9 techniques outside the tight end. They will not let the ball outside. You're going to be forced to run it up inside.
On 3rd down and 4. Flag down, delayed game. Derek Carr took too long to call for the snap. Ron Torbert, the referee.
Game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
That's what Derek Carr talked about with us the other day. They make too many mistakes. They have not scored a point in the first half either of the last 2 weeks. A drop pass, a penalty, a breakdown in pass protection. They have been a slow starting offense, and it's plays like that that kill you against the Philadelphia Eagles, because on 3rd down and 9, they're going to rev up the pass rush.
They did not have a first down in the first quarter at home Sunday night against Dallas. 3rd down and 9 now, and movement right end of the line. Marshall Newhouse, the right tackle.
Ball start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
That's got to make you sick. You have a 3rd down and 4 at midfield, and now you're at 3rd down and 14, and you have to be thinking screen or draw. And Jack Del Rio knows you can't win football games like this. Lack of concentration in critical moments will get you beat.
Philadelphia, 3rd best 3rd down defense team in the league, behind only Minnesota and Denver, and Oakland almost got it. About a yard short of the first down is Lee Smith with his 2nd catch. A tackle made by Malcolm Jenkins, the safety, on his way to the Pro Bowl for the second time.
Sticks defense. Everybody's lined up at the sticks. Prevent defense. Just short of the first down. I love this call by Jack Del Rio. You're out of the playoffs. You're 6-8. You're on the road against the great Philadelphia Eagles. Why not? Go for it.
Oakland 8 out of 19 on fourth down this year. And a timeout called. It's a Philadelphia timeout. As John mentioned, we expect to see 8 players along that defensive front with regularity tonight for Philadelphia. The star of the group, Fletcher Cox. They battled injuries at linebacker, lost Jordan Hicks, their middle linebacker, at midseason. Nigel Bradham has taken over the leadership role. And the secondary, as we just said, Malcolm Jenkins on his way to the Pro Bowl. But it's a secondary that has really struggled the last few weeks. Ronald Darby in particular came under heavy criticism when the Giants' Eli Manning passed for more than 400 yards. Darby also had a big interception in that game to help turn it around in the Eagles' favor. 4th down and 2. Design roll to the right. Plenty of Eagles there. Carr throws it away, basically. And the Eagles take over on downs.
It's an all-out blitz. Jim Schwartz brings the house. Carr has no chance but to throw this ball away. And Philadelphia has a first down in great field position.
Back in Philadelphia, no score. Lincoln Financial Field, where the Eagles have cooked up a sumptuous 6-0 record. They're the only undefeated team at home this year. They're trying to have just their second home undefeated season since 1954. They went 8-0 at home for Rich Kotite in 1992. They've been terrific here, winning one-sided games, averaging 35 points per game at home, best in the league. And they're second in points allowed at home. Only the Vikings have been better. It's the Vikings cheering for the Raiders tonight, hoping to keep their hopes for home field advantage throughout the playoffs alive.
I love this place. You don't think home field advantage is important? You're crazy. These Eagle fans, they make a difference.
Yeah, they do. Doug Peterson used the word huge. Home field advantage would be huge, and that's what they're trying to wrap up tonight. Here's Jay Ajayi breaking a tackle, gets blasted, lost the ball, but he's ruled down with an apparent first down as he crossed midfield to the Oakland 48-yard line.
These are great runs. They have built-in pass options on the backside, but it's the center, number 62, Kelsey, that is so athletic. Did you see that reach block? That's not good. That's about as good a reach block as I've seen. I can't believe Kelsey did not make the Pro Bowl, but Jay Ajayi has lit it up. He's learned this offense. They can use him more because he understands the pass protections and the route combinations.
Surprising trade just before the deadline when Miami sent him to Philly for a 4th-round pick, and you saw the historical nugget, the only player in the league to have more than 300 rushing yards in a season with 2 different teams. LeGarrette Blount the catch, and a 4-yard gain for the Eagles.
How about having these 2 feature backs? You have the feature back of the Dolphins a year ago, Ajayi. Now it's LeGarrette Blount. The man scored 18 touchdowns as a New England Patriot. And both these men have been unselfish. You watch tonight. They're going to bring in Corey Clement, another back, and perhaps Kenyon Barner. They use 4 distinctly different backs.
This is Blount again. And when Blount was asked about the reduction in the carries with the arrival of Ajayi, he said, hey, we have 12 wins. That's really the only number I care about. We're winning.
No, he doesn't play fantasy football. This man had over 1,000 yards in Tampa early in his career. He excelled as a Patriot, won a championship, and he came to Philadelphia to get another one. And here's Clement, the man we just talked about, a rookie out of Wisconsin who has 6 touchdowns, rushing and receiving combined already.
Undrafted out of the University of Wisconsin's had an excellent rookie year. They give it to him, trying to catch the Raiders off guard with a run on 3rd and 5, and they do. It's a first down to the 30-yard line. The safety, Reggie Nelson, made the tackle after a gain of 12.
It's a draw. They're going to run the inside zone. You see left guard 67, Warmack, the ex-Tennessee Titan, dominating on a drive block, and 3 different backs, and they get them all involved. A credit to Doug Peterson and his coaching staff.
Yeah, they're so deep at running back. Wendell Smallwood is a healthy scratch tonight. I think at least one coach you know well, Jay Gruden, would have liked to have had him with the Redskins with all the injuries that hit Washington. There's Blunt powering ahead. The gain of 6, perhaps even 7. Here's a look at the Oakland defense. Eddie Vanderdoes has had a nice rookie season, and Khalil Mack, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Navarro Bowman came over at mid-season after San Francisco let him go. He's been their leading tackler in 7 out of the 8 games he's played. And the secondary's been dealing with injuries all season long. 2nd and 4, another delay. This one to Ajayi, and Bruce Irvin helps rip him down. Sean Smith also in on the play. Navarro Bowman.
There goes the tempo. 5 straight running plays, and they get you in a 3rd down and 1 situation, and they love to use the up-tempo offense.
Ajayi stopped, extends the ball, and they're whistling him down. Khalil Mack took it away and was off to the races, but he's ruled down by contact and short of the line to make. So Doug Peterson has the decision to make here on 4th down.
And he's going for it. Fourth down and 1. You have a 6'5". Yes, I believe he is, Sean. No doubt about it. But you have a 6'5" quarterback. Will it be a quarterback sneak?
Doug Peterson likes to go for it on 4th down. This is their 23rd attempt. Only Green Bay's gone for it more often on 4th down. And they pick it up. It was close, but Corey Clement got it by about a half yard.
Well, I expect Clement to carry the ball. You have Ajayi, you have LeGarrette Blount. They go with the rookie Corey Clement on a creative inside run with number 10, rookie wide receiver Mac Hollins, as a diversion in motion. They've used a lot of men on their roster already here in the 1st quarter.
Leaning heavily on the run. Only Jacksonville has rushed for more yards per game than Philadelphia's 140 this year. Ajayi with a flag thrown at the end of the play as he went down at the 16.
Oh, Navarro Bowman was all over that play.
Holding. Offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That's Zach Ertz, Pro Bowl tight end at the point of attack, working against Dexter McDonald. That's a good call.
Yep, spun him right around.
Was Zach Ertz, who missed the Rams game with a concussion. I saw Trey Burton fill in for him. I thought Burton was Ertz. They have some weapons at tight end here in Philadelphia.
First and 17, Ajayi, big hole. Taken down by Carl Joseph, the safety, back at the 17-yard line.
That's the Philadelphia wham. They wham the 3 technique, and they trap the 1 technique. And it's an uncommon play in the NFL, and it's driving defenses crazy. But if you get in the NFL circles, you'll find out that the Philadelphia Eagles run the wham trap. And there's the whammer right there, Brent Selleck.
What does that mean when you wham somebody?
Well, you have a guy coming from outside in, hitting a defensive lineman. He can't see you coming. So we call it a wham block. I didn't call it that. Someone else gets credit for that.
You've used it nicely. Here's Ajayi on the screen. Ajayi inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
This center should be in the Pro Bowl. There should be an investigation. Kelsey.
Well, he's an alternate. He may get there.
I don't know what you're looking for on your ballot. I mean, this guy is unbelievable on the perimeter. Center number 62, Kelsey, cleans up on the kick-out block, and Ajayi proving to be a great acquisition for the Eagles. There's not a more athletic center that I've seen in football than Kelsey.
Here's Jake Elliott with the extra point. And the Eagles first on the board. Monday Night Football on Christmas night. The Eagles 7 and the Raiders nothing. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by those that live like a pro, GMC. Center City, Philadelphia, not far from Lincoln Financial Field. A little chilly to be out there skating tonight. Work off some calories after a great holiday meal. They're off to a good start for these home fans. 7-0 Eagles. Jay Ajayi with his 11th career touchdown. That is his first career touchdown reception. Philadelphia team that does not throw the ball to the running backs very often. Fewer catches than any other team in the league among the running backs. Just 46. Jalen Richard brings it back close to the 30-yard line. You have already expressed your admiration for Jason Kelsey.
Well, they are so creative in their attack. They can use him as a puller in the running game, and they get him out on screen passes. Watch number 62 get out of here on this screen pass, gets under control, finds Reggie Nelson as safety, and blocks him right off the screen. Very comfortable in space, very athletic. And offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland has done a phenomenal job with their scheme. They're hard to defend. They do a lot of great things. And they really rely on the athleticism of Kelsey.
And he is terrific. I don't think anybody's watched him play would argue that. But with an eye toward that Pro Bowl, you talk about centers in the NFC.
Yeah.
The two who made it, Alex Mack of Atlanta. I know you love him. You gave him a lot of credit.
I love everybody, though.
Trip to the Super Bowl.
Christmas.
Yes, you do love everybody. Christmas and on every other day there. And Travis Frederick of Dallas.
Yeah, well.
The other, they're both terrific. Everybody's terrific on Christmas.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch has running room outside and a quality gain on first down. He got 7, chased out by Malcolm Jenkins.
We have an injured offensive lineman for the Raiders. And it looks like Alexander, their right tackle. They've already lost Donald Penn. They can ill afford to lose Alexander.
Good news is we welcome you back to Philadelphia. Vidal Alexander up on his feet and walking off. He was on the field for most of the commercial time and not moving very much, so that's great to see him back up.
He's playing tight end in this jumbo set. You're going to see 55, Brandon Graham, head-to-head contact right there. Good to see him walking off in his own power, but the Raiders don't have Donald Penn, their Pro Bowl left tackle, and now Alexander, who is the third tackle tonight, being looked at by the training staff. They want to run the football. They need Alexander to give them some girth and production at the blocking tight end position, something Jared Cook is not.
David Sharp, the rookie, in at left tackle. Marshall Newhouse, the right tackle. And certainly Alexander will be part of the concussion protocol. Marshawn Lynch, excellent penetration by the Eagles, and they stop that play for no gain. Brandon Graham having an outstanding season, the longest tenured Eagle on defense in his 8th year.
There's Graham on the left side. He's going to get help from Darby, number 41. You don't see many corners look for work against Marshawn Lynch like Darby just did there. They're down at 3. Man-to-man situation. Amari Cooper back in action at the bottom of the screen. Good time to see how healthy he is if you're Derek Carr.
Had a very disappointing year. One of the reasons why they are 6-8. His numbers way off where they've been in his first couple of years. Wobbly pass by Carr, intended for Seth Roberts and incomplete.
Carr just missed him. He's obviously upset with Roberts, but Roberts was wide open. He got a great release, had separation on the left side of the screen. Carr has great protection. Perhaps he's expecting Roberts to come across the field. Not quite sure, but I'm sure there's going to be a conversation on the sideline.
Certainly didn't look like he stepped into the throw. There's Marquette King, the punter. One of the best in the league, averaging 48 yards per punt, 6th in the NFL. Wind at his back on this one, doesn't get a very good bounce, and will stop dead just outside the 20-yard line. 44-yard punt. Eagles back on offense, leading 7-0. Wild Card Weekend begins January 6th. We'll broadcast the game simultaneously on ESPN and ABC for the 3rd straight year, with the matchup day and time determined right at the end of the regular season after next weekend's games. The NFL postseason back on ESPN, also available on the ESPN app. There's still some sorting out to do with the playoff picture. Seeding, a couple of teams trying to earn their way in as wild cards. The upcoming final week of this regular season. On the ground, LeGarrette Blount chopped down by Reggie Nelson after a gain of 2.
And one of the reasons you're going to see a lot of running plays tonight is the Raiders have a lot of new linebackers. You see Nicholas Morrow checking out of the game now, number 50. He comes from Greenville College. And Navarro Bowman, number 53, was just acquired from the 49ers at midseason. Raider linebackers are in for a lot of different blocking schemes and straight at 'em runs tonight.
And the rookie Bowman has learned a lot by being alongside. But the rookie Morrow has learned a lot by being alongside Navarro Bowman. Jay Ajayi, the ball carrier, not much there. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Philadelphia in the final minute of the first quarter.
Let's see where Khalil Mack goes. Mack usually rushes from his left side. And when he rushes from the left, he's up against the Pro Bowl right tackle in Lane Johnson. Will the Raiders move Mack against the backup left tackle of the Eagles? Not on this snap. He's going up against the Pro Bowler, Lane Johnson.
They have moved him around, as you indicated, more in recent weeks after they had a change of defensive coordinator at midseason. John Pagano took over for Ken Norton Jr. Pass incomplete, flag down in the secondary. And TJ Carey had the coverage on Nelson Aguilar.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense, number 38, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, Aguilar from his slot receiver position just hooks and turns at 10 to 12 yards deep, and Carey is there early. Another penalty on the Raiders to set up Philadelphia with 1st and 10.
Final seconds of the first quarter. Ajayi. And there's the rookie Nicholas Morrow of Division III Greenville University outside St. Louis. End of the first quarter on Christmas night. When we spoke with Raiders coach Jack Del Rio on Saturday, he said we can't let the Eagles get off to a flying start. They tend to jump on people, and they do a good job protecting the lead. You see the numbers. The Eagles have now outscored their opponents 106-48 in the first quarter. They're 8-0 this year when leading after the first quarter. They've now gone 10 straight games at home without allowing a first quarter touchdown.
They can attack you so many different ways with different personnel groupings, Sean. You don't know what's coming. Here they are with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they have the Raiders on their heels. They're struggling to get lined up.
Number 1 time of possession team in the league, the Eagles. And they've run 17 plays so far, 12 of them runs. Play fake to Jay Ajayi. Mack got close to Foles, but not soon enough. And then Ajayi, good work after the catch. He danced away from the rookie, Markel Lee, back near the line of scrimmage, and Eddie Vanderdoes finally made the tackle.
Well, it's a predictable rundown situation. They're just going to fake the ball to Ajayi. Nobody's open. They check the ball down, and you said it, Markel Lee, a rookie out of Wake Forest. There's young players playing for the Raiders at all 3 levels. Vanderdoes is a rookie at defensive line. You have Mark Rockwell Lee, Nicholas Morrow at linebacker. It's tough on defensive coordinator John Pagano.
And Oakland has called a timeout.
Timeout of the half. This is the 30-second timeout.
There is John Pagano. He was the assistant head coach for defense in his first year on the Oakland staff at the beginning of this year. Brought in to help Ken Norton Jr. But when the defense really struggled through the first 10 games, Jack Del Rio made a tough decision to let go of his good friend Ken Norton Jr. Is very popular with the players, who were not shy about expressing their displeasure with Norton's dismissal. But they have played better on defense since they made the coaching change.
Yeah, change is tough on the players, certainly. It's also tough on John Pagano and all these coaches. But there are sudden changes in this league. There's going to be holdouts, injuries, coaches being replaced. It's how you deal with it, and Oakland's got to deal with it better.
Didn't have an interception through the first 10 games. First team in the history of the league to do that. They've had 4 since, and there's almost an interception. It helps to pick it off if you can catch it, and Reggie Nelson dropped one right in his hands.
Reggie Nelson has a lot of interceptions in his career, and Nick Foles dodges a bullet. Just an out route, and Nelson, the veteran safety, read it like a book. Wow. Would have been a pick 6.
Sure would have been. He had 5 interceptions last year. He doesn't have any this season.
Raiders can't buy an interception, Sean.
No.
I think they just got 4 for the season.
Foles has still thrown 147 passes now since his last interception. That's the longest active streak, but he was lucky it's still alive. Jalen Richard returns the Donnie Jones punt to the 26-yard line. 48-yard punt, a return of 8. 7-0 Philadelphia. Carson Wentz in attendance here tonight, watching from a suite. They're playing their second game. Are the Eagles without him for his left ACL December 10th.
And I'll tell you one thing we got to do, man. We got to protect this team.
Surgery 3 days later. As you can see, he was with his teammates on the field before the game. He was a leading candidate to be the MVP in the NFL this year. 11-2, best winning percentage still among quarterbacks in the NFL. His 33 touchdown passes still leading the league, as are his 14 third down touchdown passes. He's missed 3 games once the regular season is over, and there is a precedent for an NFL MVP to miss 3 games. Joe Montana did it for the 49ers in 1989. Had a great year. Matter of fact, his passer rating that year was 112.4, at the time the league record. Here's Cordero Patterson on first down, and a quality gain. He got 7 with his first catch of the night, taken out of bounds by Ronald Darby. Do you think Wentz should still be an MVP candidate, even though he's going to miss the last 3 games of the regular season?
It's hard to argue against that guy up in New England, but what he did as a second-year player, I would vote for Carson Wentz. He did it as a runner. He did it as a passer. His audibles, his command at the line of scrimmage, his leadership. It is killing him to not be playing. I hate to see him sitting up there.
A lot of momentum for Todd Gurley, the terrific Rams running back in recent days, as an MVP candidate. Tough run by Marshawn Lynch. And he pounds ahead for a first down to the 37.
You're not going to get long runs against Philadelphia. You're going to have to make good, hard 3- and 4-yard runs. Watch this at full speed. I'd keep sending Lynch between the tackles repeatedly. 3-, 4-, and 5-yard runs. That's how you're going to make a living running the football against this Philadelphia defense. They will not let you outside.
Because they're hard to run against, and because the Eagles have played with the lead so much of the year, a lot of opponents abandon the run. I spoke with Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator for Oakland. He said they will not do that. They go to the pass, and it's a big hitter. Amari Cooper with nobody in the picture for Philadelphia. 63 yards and a touchdown for Todd Downing and the Raiders.
Todd Downing watched the Giant film last week. Eli Manning smoked the Eagles with double moves. Just a one-step slant and go, and Jalen Mills, who got burned big time last week against the Giants, bit the cheese again. the Eagles in the last couple weeks have bit on double moves. They have not tackled well. They've struggled with up-tempo offenses, and Derek Carr has the Raiders right back in it.
We're talking about Nick Foles, but you have to think right now the bigger concern for Philadelphia heading toward the playoffs is the pass defense. Giorgio Tavecchio, the extra point, and it is good. Amari Cooper playing on a sore ankle with a big play to tie the game at 7. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Great city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Santa not happy right now. The Raiders just scored to tie the game at 7. Raiders didn't score a single point in either of their last 2 first halves against Kansas City or Dallas. Derek Carr, the big hitter, to a wide open Amari Cooper. And Kenyon Barner now back deep for the kickoff for the Eagles. Should get a chance to run it back as Tavecchio's kicking off into a pretty stiff wind. Good kick into that breeze, and he won't have a chance to run it back.
It's good play calling by the Raiders. You study tape last week against the Giants, top of the screen, Ronald Darby. He's jumping all over these slant routes. So you throw the double move, you get a big play. And then here's Jalen Mills. He's jumping on the same route. If you see a team struggling with double moves, you'd be a fool not to try them. It's the same route, the same corner, the same result. Philadelphia better address that quickly because they're going to see a lot more double moves as this game unfolds.
Nick Foles, the play fake to LeGarrette Blount on first down, and Zach Ertz gets 11. Foles now 5 out of 8 for 40 yards. Play time again, and the pass is broken up by Reggie Nelson. Foles was trying to get it to Brent Selleck.
Foles has struggled so far. The second time I think he's been late. And Reggie Nelson is a man you have to be very careful with. He's been around a long time. He's been a good safety for the Jaguars, the Bengals, and he was in the Pro Bowl last year as a Raider. He's got a beat on Nick Foles.
Nelson in his 11th year now out of the University of Florida. "34 years old. LeGarrette Blount ahead for a couple. And there is a flag down on the play, thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Chance Warmack, who's in at left guard tonight for the second week in a row for the injured Stefan Wisniewski, who's sidelined with an ankle injury.
And this left side of the Eagles offensive line has struggled. Both backup players, Vaitai at left tackle, Warmack at left guard. And in these obvious passing situations, let's see if the Raiders can take advantage of that. James Cowser, number 47, has just checked in as a pass rusher at the top of the screen, and Khalil Mack continues to operate against the Pro Bowl Lane Johnson.
Not against the weaker side of the offensive line, the left. Vaitai and Warmack there. Good throw and catch. Foles to Ertz. And they're back to the 41-yard line. Still 5 yards short of a first down, but that's a pickup of 15.
Well, Zach Ertz, he can run an array of different routes, and they can line him up everywhere. Here he is working in the slot. He's going to break to the inside, and the Raiders have no underneath coverage, and Ertz puts Philadelphia in a manageable 3rd and 5.
Ertz heading to the Pro Bowl for the first time in his 5th year out of Stanford. First Eagles Pro Bowl tight end since 2002, Chad Lewis. On 3rd and 5, deep throw by Foles, single coverage intended for Nelson Aguilar, and incomplete with T.J. Carey running stride for stride.
I like T.J. Carey, former 7th round pick out of Ohio U. He's played more snaps by far than any Oakland Raiders secondary player this year, and he leads the team in tackles. And so far, he's done a nice job matching up against Aguilar in the slot.
Donnie Jones to punt. Jalen Richard back deep. And he rolls out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Coach, now let's take a look at some of the key Duracell power numbers from this week.
8 billion toy completions with 23 billion Duracell batteries. And look at those total yards. And all the joy that you're seeing here tonight is because of that jolly guy.
And it really is hard to believe how far this city has come since, shall we say, the unpleasantness of 1968. Let's stay positive, folks.
And that's why we're here to remind you. Now that Santa's job is done, keep these toys powered through the new year with Duracell, a power you can trust.
They have, I think it's called the Clio Awards for advertising. We are certainly going to win a Clio Award for that performance. No snow tonight, which is good because it's part of the history here. 1968 over at Franklin Field. Some snowballs during a very tough year for the Eagles were fired at St.
Well, I got to love these fans, I tell you.
They're great fans.
They are the best. And the stadium is right here in downtown Philly. Makes it even better.
Marshawn Lynch on first down for Oakland, giving the Eagles everything they can handle.
You know, it's funny, Sean. I look at these NFC East teams. The Redskins, they don't even play in Washington, D.C. They play in Maryland. The Dallas Cowboys, they play in Arlington, Texas. The New York Giants, we got to go to Newark, I think, to watch them play. Philadelphia, you just open the door to your hotel. Right downtown we play. That's why this place rocks with nothing but Eagle fans, and I love it.
In South Philly, the athletic complex right here, the Phillies Stadium right next door, and the arena in which the Sixers and Flyers play is also adjacent. Derek Carr nowhere to throw it, slides down short of the first down by about 4 yards. You loved it when you coached here. You were an assistant here back in the day.
Did. I sure did. These fans, they weren't always nice to me either, Sean. It toughened me up.
Could you tell the story you mentioned, what you heard?
Yeah, well, we got shut out in the playoffs one year by the 49ers. I turned on the local radio station here, and they said if John Gruden's IQ was 1 point less, he'd be a plant. And everybody in Philadelphia agreed with the guy. They ran me out of here, man. 3rd down and 5. Can they protect?
Looked like the Eagles might have been offside. There is a flag down, and there's a sack. Chris Long, the son of the former Raider Hall of Famer Howie Long, but it looked like they were across the line early.
Long was off early, but he went after Newhouse.
Offside. Defense, number 56. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
He doesn't like the call. It was an excellent rush, but was he off early?
Yes.
Good call. But you said it. What a pedigree that man has.
And the Long family here tonight. Howie Long versus dad, wife Diane versus mom here. Deep handoff to Marshawn Lynch. And he's out to the 27-yard line.
I'll tell you, a key player in this game for the Raiders is their left guard, Kelechi Osemele. And he's a Pro Bowl left guard, and he is the most physical, nasty left guard I have seen in the NFL. And he's going to have his hands full tonight with a Pro Bowl Fletcher Cox. Everything starts with the Eagles' inside pass rush. The inside pass rush sets up the outside pass rush. Can Osemele come through against the great Fletcher Cox, it'll be quite a matchup.
Second and 6. Quick throw by Carr on target for a first down. Was Seth Roberts touchdown? They're saying that he was. The Raiders didn't think so. But they're going to rule him down by contact with the first down near the 40-yard line.
Take a look at it yourself. Looked like he was touched.
Barely.
Raiders doing a nice job. They have been persistent with their running game. They've used this quick passing game, and it's set up the double move to Cooper. Philadelphia started slow on defense last week against the Giants, and they haven't made the impact plays we have been accustomed to seeing yet.
You're sure he was touched, right? You seem more convinced than I am. I still haven't seen a replay that would make me think, yeah, there he is. I guess on the right hip. The question I would have is, was he down when that happened? He was going to the ground. They have moved the ball back to the 38-yard line. Still an 11-yard gain midway through the second quarter. Oakland coming in at 6-8, eliminated from the playoffs yesterday with some of the results that impacted their wild card hopes. Hanging right in there with the best team in the league so far this season. One of the interesting sidelights to this matchup tonight on the left is Todd Downing, first-year offensive coordinator at Oakland. On the right, Jim Schwartz. When Jim was the head coach at Detroit for his entire tenure there, Todd Downing was on his coaching staff, and the two of them have a very close relationship. It was clear in our conversations with both, a lot of affection and respect for each other.
Yeah, it's sometimes harder than you think to go up against some of your former men that helped you get to where you are. Boy.
Jim Schwartz said he really doesn't enjoy it. Wow, Lynch still battling for everything. Came up about a yard short of the first down. Schwartz said sometimes even when you win, when you've defeated a friend who you're close to, it takes a little bit of the joy out of winning. There's the team photo from the Jim Schwartz days, head coach of the Detroit Lions. One of many people who helped Todd Downing along the way. From Eden Prairie, Minnesota, played high school football, was a quarterback. But Downing's high school coach, Mike Grant, who's a legend in his own right. You spent time with Coach Grant this fall. The son of Bud Grant told Todd Downing, you're not a good enough player to play in college and really do well. You should get into coaching immediately. Good call by Downing to run up the middle. So rather than try to play in college, he went to the University of Minnesota, got an internship with the Minnesota Vikings, and has been in football ever since.
Well, they're getting after these backup linebackers of the Eagles. 57, Donnell Ellerby stepping in there. Nige Good, who's played a little bit of middle linebacker with the absence of Jordan Hicks. And Marshawn Lynch has done exactly what the Raiders have asked him to do. Go directly at them and pound them.
.42 yards rushing for Lynch. Carr running out of time, gets rid of it. With Chris Long in his face. And the official on the near sideline pointing that there was a receiver in the area.
That's the one thing Derek Carr told us he's got to be very careful with. Holding the ball. Rhythm, timing. If you hold the ball too long, not only are you going to get sacked, you're going to get hit. And Carr has got to stay healthy. He was hurt last year at the end of the season, a bad injury this year. This whole organization revolves around the health of number 4.
Broke his leg late last season, and most observers think he really hasn't been the same since. He's had more injuries this year, as you mentioned. That throw. Trying to hit Seth Roberts with a quick one, and Patrick Robinson broke it up.
Good play by Robinson. Robinson left the game last week against the Giants with a concussion. Not sure whether he would be back. And a lot of specialty rushers for the Eagles here on 3rd down and 10. It'll be long at the top of the screen. They move their Pro Bowler, Brandon Graham, inside over the guard. And Vinny Curry operates at the bottom of the screen. 3 defensive ends with the Pro Bowler, Fletcher Cox. Good luck.
It was a good pass protecting offensive line for Oakland on 3rd down and 10. There's a flag down. It looked like there was a hold, and the catch is made by Cooper. Fighting to get in the end zone. He did not, but that looked like it was offensive holding. Just watching it live from up here. And if so, it wipes out a 45-yard gain.
That'll be Gabe Jackson.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
This NASCAR package, they put their best rusher, Brandon Graham, inside to go after these guards. And you see 66 Jackson.
Yes.
Clearly holding. But it's the matchups they can create. They get you behind in the chains. They put 3 defensive ends on the field. And Brandon Graham, 9.5 sacks, has really not only helped this team on the field, he's their energizer off the field. You got to see him walking around in a dining hall. He's not looking at his Instagram account. And this guy's looking at his matchup. He does nothing but talk football. And here's that sticks defense by the Eagles.
Well, Todd Downing call against that defense from his mentor, Jim Schwartz. It's a screen. DeAndre Washington got to the 41-yard line. There is another flag down. Downfield, Malcolm Jenkins made the tackle.
I'd take him back if I were Coach Peterson. They've given up a lot of yardage with this coverage.
Ron Torbert asking Doug Peterson what he wants to do. It's against Oakland.
Illegal block in the back by the offense. Number 61. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
The center, Rodney Hudson, part of the high-priced offensive line. They've spent $43 million on the line, most in the league.
Well, a good call. You got to give Hudson a lot of credit. Hudson has had kidney stones. A lot of people did not know if he would play today. But not only is he a Pro Bowl, he's an Iron Man, and he hasn't missed a snap all season in the pivot for the Oakland Raiders. Jim Otto would be proud of that.
The penalties wiping out gains of 45 and 16 for Oakland.
He brings it back to the 35. It's 3rd down.
They've had a little help from New York on a couple of these replacements of the spot. 4:15 to go in the half.
Well, they got that NASCAR package back out there. I call it NASCAR because it's their speed package.
That makes
3
sense.
defensive ends. Yeah. And Fletcher Cox. It's a NASCAR package. You have to have a way to communicate. But look at the guys lined up deep on the 1st down sticks to prevent defense.
Well, actually, that first wave of them is at the original line of scrimmage. Still about 10 yards short of the line to make, so they'll give him a little running room. Now they come up on Jared Cook. Well, a lot to get him down. They'll give him midfield, but still 13 yards short of the line to make. Michael Kendricks, the primary tackler. Jalen Mills in there as well.
Here's Kenyon Barner to return this punt. He has done a very good job taking over for Darren Sproles, Sean. You lose Darren Sproles, you lose one of the great 3rd down backs and returners in football. But Barner has averaged 10 yards per return, 30 yards per kickoff return. And you got to credit Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Eagles, for finding so many players.
Joe Douglas, vice president of player personnel as well. The scouts, they have really put together a deep team. Barner caught it on the run, and he goes out of bounds near sideline. They're going to mark it at the 24. Tackle made by Johnny Holton. 33-yard punt, 7 on the return. There's Howie Roseman. John, you're just talking about him. He's had an interesting time here in Philadelphia. A little while, looked like he did lose some of his authority in the football decision-making when Chip Kelly was here, but he has it back, and they've quickly put together a terrific team.
How about the trade to get Carson Wentz? They traded for Jernigan. They traded for Darby. They trade for Ajayi. You bring in free agents like Alshon Jeffrey, LeGarrette Blount, Torrey Smith. How about the free agent acquisition of Nick Foles? They have really done a great job under his leadership.
And as a result of the depth and talent, they are still 12-2 despite season-long injuries. Wentz is the most notable and one of the most recent, but they've been battling injuries all season long and have continued to thrive. On their way to the playoffs as division champs after not making the postseason in any of the last 3 seasons. Trying to wrap up the #1 seed in the NFC with a win tonight. Zach Ertz is wide open, running down the field and chopped down with the ball coming out after he was down by contact. Another tackle by Reggie Nelson, and they'll mark it at the Eagles 49, and they want to go without a huddle.
Just good play action. Ball handling completely fooled the Raiders, and with all the new linebackers on this Raider defense, this is a good move. Go with a no huddle.
I believe Jack Del Rio threw. He did throw the challenge flag. It's not a fumble. And a good call on the field. I think Jack Del Rio was going to challenge that it was a fumble.
Oakland has challenged the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact prior to losing the ball. We'll review the play.
That was a good job by Nick Foles, Sean. He saw Jack Del Rio get ready to throw that challenge. He jumped the ball in a no-huddle offense. He didn't have a chance to confer with his coaches in the press box, and that's good work by a veteran quarterback.
Well, Foles in for Carson Wentz, experienced veteran, providing depth. We talk about the key injuries. Go back to the beginning of the year. They lost an excellent kicker, Caleb Sturgis, to a hip injury. Darren Foles, John mentioned, running back, return man. Jordan Hicks, one of their best defensive players, signal caller. Jason Peters, one of the best offensive linemen, really one of the best tackles. You can make the argument in the history of the league. 9 times a Pro Bowler. And now Wentz. But they keep rolling good players out there to take their place.
And Foles has the biggest shoes to fill, obviously. He's had no reps. The other players get some reps on the practice field. When you go watch an NFL practice with this collective bargaining agreement they have, the backup quarterback gets no reps. So the first time Nick Foles got a full week of reps was last week against the Giants. He's still learning his receivers. He doesn't have a great rapport right now with Alshon Jeffries. Let's see the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver's left elbow touched the ground with the ball in his control before it came out. It'll be Philadelphia's ball, 1st and 10. Oakland will be charged with its 2nd time out of the half, and it has 1 challenge remaining. The clock will start on the snap.
But I do think, Sean, that Nick Foles needs to gain some rapport with these receivers. They've been invisible so far tonight, particularly Alshon Jeffrey. Before they start the playoffs, they need to get Foles in a rhythm with this veteran receiving corps.
He was with Kansas City last year, primarily as a backup to Alex Smith. And he arrived here before the season started, missed a lot of their preseason with some injuries as well. So you mentioned didn't really have time to establish a relationship during training camp. It looked like there was movement on the right side of that offensive line from Lane Johnson.
Ball start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, no first down.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Lane Johnson would move over to left tackle to replace Jason Peters. Johnson is a lottery pick. He's a 1st-round pick. But they kept him at right tackle, and it's a good thing they did, because not only is he a Pro Bowl, he's helped Brandon Brooks, their right guard, become a Pro Bowler. That right side of the Eagles is a good one.
Very rare for a right tackle to get selected to the Pro Bowl, as you saw first since 2010. Most of the great tackles are left tackles protecting the blind side, and they all get picked as the tackles to be in the Pro Bowl. Foles pass batted down at the line of scrimmage by Bruce Irvin.
He can play. 7.5 sacks. He causes fumbles. Here he is working against the backup Vaitai, and the Oakland Raiders use a lot of line stunts. The tackles and the defensive ends twist, and they try to create some confusion up front. The ex-Seattle Seahawk. has become a very good Oakland Raider.
The leader in the Oakland community. An amazing transformation in his life. He talked about his very difficult upbringing when he was a young person, doing the wrong things, hanging around drug dealers, etc. Now he's their nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide.
Really
Deservedly so.
Really is a great story, Sean. We get to know him every year at our little QB camp, and he's a great leader and a great inspiration to a lot of guys with tough backgrounds. You can make it. You can make it. You got to believe you can make it.
And so many of these players around the league have overcome remarkable difficulties in their childhood to get out here where they are today. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes NFL players for their excellence on and off the field. The Eagles nominee this year is Malcolm Jenkins, nominated for his work helping youth in underserved communities and for his leadership role in advocating for criminal justice reform. Through his foundation, he continues to make a lot of people happy around the holidays. Over here in Philadelphia and New Orleans, where his career started. We'll have more about that later on. And having a great season.
Yeah.
Jim Schwartz said he's the most versatile defensive player he's ever coached.
That's saying a lot, but you love to see great players that are great people and doing great things outside the game. That's awesome.
2-minute warning. Philadelphia and Oakland tied at 7. Eagles at the Raiders 49-yard line. And Foles got hit as he throws it, and a flag thrown as Nicholas Morrow was a bit too frisky with Zach Ertz.
It's going to be against the Raiders, and John Pagano can't believe it.
It's pretty clear penalty.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the defense. Defense pass interference, number 50. That penalty is declined before the pass was thrown, holding defense number 23. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, and an automatic first down.
I believe that's the 4th or 5th penalty against the Raiders on 3rd down. That has given Philadelphia new life. Where is Alshon Jeffrey? They have matched Sean Smith up with him all night. Smith did it with Des Bryant last week, and so far tonight he's throwing a no-hitter against Jeffrey.
Yep. Foles recovers. Boy, it looked like Mack was being held by Lane Johnson. There is a flag down, and a catch made by Nelson Aguilar, but that's going to get wiped out by a holding call.
That's Lane Johnson.
Holding, offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
I thought Johnson was in great shape. You're going to see Khalil Mack jump. I didn't see anything there.
Well, you were due for one of those. I didn't know if we were going to make it to the half.
But you're right. It was very. I think Mack did a good job of selling it more than anything else.
Yeah, I think Johnson has done an excellent job against Mack tonight. Surprised they don't move Mack over to the other side against the backup left tackle, being that Johnson is indeed a Pro Bowler.
John Pagano said they might do that from time to time tonight. They've done it more since he took over the defense. Good catch by Ertz with Navarro Bowman all over him.
Look at Lane Johnson, a right tackle, working against Khalil Mack tonight. Done an excellent job keeping his quarterback clean and one-on-one pass protection.
Minute 19 to go in the half. Tied at 7. Nick Foles for Ertz again with some space. He stopped about 3 yards short of the first down. Dexter McDonald, Reggie Nelson. And the Eagles are running up to the line of scrimmage with 2 timeouts left.
Very good 3rd down offense. The Eagles convert as many 3rd downs as anyone in the league.
Foles has 9 completions, 5 of them to Zach Ertz. 3rd down and 3. Foles running out of time, throws incomplete at the feet of Torrey Smith.
That's what they're missing in Carson Wentz. The athleticism, the ability to scramble in these 3rd and medium situations. Watch Foles' feet. He's not going to take off and run. He's got to continue to keep the pocket alive and make some contested throws from the pocket.
So they're going to go for it here on 4th down. We mentioned Doug Peterson does that with regularity. Well, they risk turning it over to Oakland with an opportunity for the Raiders to have good field position. A time to go in the half. Low snap. Foles throws. Ertz has it. Has the 1st down and goes out of bounds. Shoved out by Antonio Hamilton.
Great job by Foles fielding a bad snap. You got to go down and catch the snap. You take your eyes off the defense. You got to get a grip and you got to make an accurate throw on 4th down. It's one thing I never liked about the shotgun. You get an inaccurate snap. Sometimes you don't even get the laces. You don't see your receivers. Great work by Ertz and Foles.
Should be in field goal range now for Jake Elliott, about a 50-yarder from here. Foles checks it down. Shalom Luani made the tackle on Brent Selleck, and it's another 1st down to the 21-yard line.
Playing a lot of zone coverage, and I thought Foles might take a shot at the top of the screen between the corner and the safety. He had a 2-on-1 ball against Reggie Nelson, but they are rotating coverage to Jeffrey and forcing Foles to hold the ball and work in the middle of the field.
First and 10, 21-yard line, another short throw. Corey Clement collared along the near sideline at the 15 by Dexter McDonald.
#1 red zone offense in football. They score touchdowns inside the 20. They usually lean on their ground game, but with 26 seconds left in a half, they're going to have to pass protect. And if you're Oakland, keep an eye on number 86. That's where they like to go.
Doug Peterson, as you saw, calls the plays. Former NFL quarterback and offensive coordinator. Frank Reich is the offensive coordinator. Foles down the middle, and Ertz couldn't hang on. Got a hand on it, but couldn't pull it in.
Where they like to go. It's a great route by Ertz. He starts to sell the corner route and suddenly breaks back to the post. Foles just missed him. 8 touchdowns already for Zach Ertz. That's a career high. Got to try to find a way to disrupt him on the line of scrimmage when he's playing his natural tight end position.
Philadelphia uses its 2nd timeout with 21 seconds to go until the Toyota halftime. Susie Colbert, Randy Moss, Matthew Hasselbeck on the Eagles' fight for home field advantage. They'll secure that with a win tonight. And Scott Van Pelt has an interview with J.J. Watt. Let's hope he can be fully healthy for the whole season next year. Be interesting to see what happens in Houston next year.
Yep.
Sean Watson hopefully comes back healthy. Rumors about Bill O'Brien's future. It's that time of the year when there are a lot of coaching rumors. Not that you would. What do you think about that, my friend?
That's hard to believe. Bill O'Brien, he lost Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watt, lost Deshaun Watson. Put the film on of Deshaun Watson early.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess up with that battery.
No, what a great job they did adapting their offense to Watson's skills. Bill O'Brien have a job in 5 minutes if they part company. Foles after the play fake on 3rd and 4. Throws it away. He was approaching the line of scrimmage.
Thought he could have run for a 1st down.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, definitely. And they had the timeout. Here comes Jake Elliott.
Take a look at it. It's 3rd down and 4. You can scramble for the 1st down. and then clock it or take a timeout. But Ed Clement on the check down as well. Here's another great acquisition by the Eagles, Jake Elliott.
They lost Caleb Sturgis. They found this guy, and the announcer whammy.
Wow.
Shows up, 33-yarder, no good. He can't believe it.
The Oakland Raiders have come on the road and hung in there with the 12-2 Eagles. Good snap. He just pushed it.
Little slice. Rookie out of Memphis, same school that produced the great Steven Gostkowski, longtime kicker for the New England Patriots. So a break for Oakland is, you said, John, they've played the Eagles play for play tonight. It's been a very even game.
And don't forget the dropped interception by Reggie Nelson, or the Raiders would be in front.
All the significant stats very close as they head to the locker room for halftime. Most important of all, the score, 7-7. Raiders get the ball to start the second half. Susie and the crew, the Toyota halftime in 30 seconds. Monday Night Football on Christmas night continues from Philadelphia. We mentioned on our way to halftime, a lot of the stats just about identical. Score 7-7, and not much difference in the passing stats between these two quarterbacks. Derek Carr's thrown for 118. Nick Foles has just 1 yard more, though he's thrown 9 passes more than Carr. Merry Christmas again, everybody. Sean McDonough along with the coach John Gruden. Only 7 points for the highest scoring team in the league, Philadelphia. If you're an Eagle fan watching Nick Foles in this half, evaluating him with an eye toward the playoffs, are you a little worried?
I am a little bit worried because they haven't been able to get anything done on third down. They're 0 for 5 on third down, and they got away with a dropped interception by Reggie Nelson. That would have been a pick 6. But when there's nobody open, Foles is not creating any offense with scrambles. He has been forced to just hang in the pocket and throw the ball away. And Eagle fans are used to seeing Carson Wentz take off and make some of these first downs. But they've got to convert on third down. This is the number 2 third down offense in football. 0 for 5 won't cut it.
Hasn't completed a pass to Alshon Jeffrey or Nelson Aguilar. They combined for 111 catches prior to tonight. Aguilar looking at the pad. He's been one of the positive stories of this season among many for Philadelphia. Eagles defense will be out there first as they'll kick off to begin the second half on a chilly night here in Philadelphia. Temperature now in the high 20s. Cordero Patterson, very dangerous return man back there. Matter of fact, his kickoff return average is 30.2. That is second in the history of the league, behind only Gale Sayers, one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
That's saying something. He had a long one return for a touchdown last week that was called back.
Jake Elliott's kickoff into the wind comes down at the 10. DeAndre Washington brought it back to the 25. Here comes Derek Carr. You saw the numbers, 8 out of 12 for 118, and the touchdown pass that tied the game for Oakland.
Carr is athletic, Sean. He looked healthier last week against the Cowboys than I've seen him. He took off. He scrambled for 47 yards. I still think that's the wild card of this game. Carr can scramble and create, or that's not Nick Foles' cup of tea. I look for Carr to create with his legs before it's over.
26-year-old quarterback in his 4th year from Fresno State, Bakersfield, California, his hometown. And a nifty run to start the half for Marshawn Lynch. Todd Downing said, we're going to stick with the run against the Eagles, and they have.
Gabe Jackson at right guard, number 66, on a double team with Marshall Newhouse, and off goes Lynch. They've run a lot of shotgun lateral runs with Lynch this season. I like that style of running. Get Derek Carr underneath the center, put Lynch deep in the I formation, about 8 yards deep, and let him attack the line of scrimmage at full speed.
16-yard gain. They stick with him. And Coach, this is really a continuation of a good stretch for him. He's been much better in the second half of the year than the first. There is a flag down at the end of the play. He's averaging about a yard per carry more over the last 7 games than he did the first 7. It really coincides with the one game he sat out.
Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. Results in an automatic first down.
That's Fletcher Cox, and not many teams go after Cox in the inside tackles of this defense. But the Raiders are loaded at guard. Gabe Jackson, a huge contract, number 66 at right guard. The left guard, Kelechi Osemele, a big ticket at left guard. And the center, Hudson, a Pro Bowler. They don't back down from anybody. In Philadelphia, struggling.
Just joining us, a win tonight. Philadelphia would clinch the home field advantage, #1 seed in the NFC playoffs. But they're in a battle with these Raiders tonight. Jalen Richard, another tackle by Fletcher Cox.
Multiple tight ends checking in. Cook, 87. 81 is Pharaoh Brown, just called up off the practice squad. I remember Tim Brown, one of the old Raiders, the guy I coached wearing that number. And Pharaoh Brown, playing tight end, a former Oregon Duck, called up because Clive Warford went on IR.
Richard, running room. And a first down inside the 15-yard line. Rodney McLeod was literally the last line of defense and made the play.
Do an excellent job at the point of attack with their 2 tight ends, and they're going to pull their Pro Bowl left guard, Kelechi Osemele. He does a nice job kicking out Darby and Richard, an undrafted player from Southern Miss. A very good runner and receiver. Here comes the Raiders.
34-yard gain. Lynch chopped down after a run of 2. Jalen Mills chopped him down and started to grab Lynch's leg again and decided it was a good idea to let go.
Hey, Philadelphia's got to wake up. Where's the energy? Where's the emotion? They're playing for home field advantage, and has not been their most impressive performance tonight. This running game of the Raiders has taken the pass rush out of it. Don't forget Cooper at the top of the screen against Darby, a man who's been inconsistent.
Crowd out of it as well. A lot of empty seats right now as the second half begins on a cold night. Perhaps some left at the half. There's Lynch. Rattled and knocked down about 4 yards short of the first down by Nigel Bradham and Chris Long.
Nigel Bradham, the ex-Buffalo Bill. Watch this at full speed. He and Marshawn Lynch on this toss sweep. Third and 3.
Six plays, all of them rushes. 4 minutes gone by, second half. 3rd and 3, just outside the 6. Harwood time to the goal line, and Crabtree could not make the catch. And that's not the first time those words have been said this year. They've had an alarming number of drop passes this season, 27 entering tonight.
Well, he starts this slant, he breaks back to the corner, and Mills does an excellent job. They double moved Mills earlier in the first half for a touchdown. They go after him again in the red zone, and nobody on this Oakland Raider team is targeted like Michael Crabtree is inside the 10.
Here's Giorgio Tavecchio. A 27-yard field goal try, 25-yard field goal try now to give them the lead, and Oakland goes on top with 10:50 to go in the third quarter. 10-7, Monday Night Football on Christmas night from Philadelphia. Back at Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles hoping to play all the rest of their games prior to the Super Bowl here. They'll clinch home field advantage with a win tonight. If not, then that keeps Minnesota alive. They'd like to play at home all the way through the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
And what a home field advantage they have there. Philadelphia has Dallas next week, so even if they lose tonight, they'd have a chance to capture the #1 seed with a win over Dallas here next week. Minnesota has Chicago.
I like that thing they say at Minnesota, that
Skull.
skull. You and I got hoarse yelling at that one night.
What a great stadium that is. Regardless of who's playing there, it'll be a nice venue for the Super Bowl. Chilly outside, but one of the great facilities in the NFL. U.S. Bank.
Case Keenum.
What a story he's been.
Indeed.
Vecchio, a nice story as well. Replaced Sebastian Janikowski, one of the all-time great Raiders who got injured in the preseason with a back problem. Vecchio's been trying for years to get a chance in the NFL. Bounced around to 3 different training camps, 3 different teams. Got his chance this year, and he's done well. That's a touchback, and here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean. Well, Doug Peterson summed up the Eagles' first half in 3 words for me: sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. He said, we are better than this. He said, our execution was poor on offense. They were 1 for 7 on 3rd down. He said, we dropped snaps, had a couple of pre-snap penalties. He said, we got to clean all of that up in the second half. Sean?
It's been a flat return home. They played the last 3 games on the road. Won 2 out of 3. Only 2 losses on the road this year. And here's Blunt off and running, hurdling a tackler. And look at him go all the way across the 45. But there is a flag now back behind the line of scrimmage.
Coming back.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty.
Again.
Replay first down.
Second time Lane Johnson, the Pro Bowl right tackle, has been flagged for holding. Is that wham play again? It's a good call.
Yep.
Mistakes hurting this Eagle offense.
22-yard gain nullified. Both sides have had some big plays wiped out due to penalty, but pretty good chance if he didn't hold, that play wouldn't have gone for 22 yards. Play fake to Jay. They wanted to throw a screen, and Foles was out of time. Pressure from the rookie, Eddie Vanderdoes, out of UCLA, their 3rd-round pick this year.
Somebody got to put their hands on Vanderdoes on these screen passes. Right guard 79, Brandon Brooks. Nobody touched him. Nobody neutralized his charge. And if you let Vanderdoes get in there like that, this screen has no chance. Doug Peterson can't be happy at all. Sloppy in the first half. You come out to start the 3rd quarter. You have a holding call and a mistake that can't happen.
On 2nd and 20, Jay Ajayi running right into Navarro Bowman.
Navarro Bowman, another ex-San Francisco 49er that joins forces with the Oakland Raiders. I love that. Bowman came over here, learned the offense. He got rid of Trey Burton and stuffed Jay Ajayi in the hole. That's good work.
I don't know if you were like me. When you saw that transaction that he basically let go by the 49ers, you think, well, maybe he's at the end of the line. He's in his 8th year. Clearly that wasn't the case. He said 49ers were up front with him. Obviously, they're in a bit of a youth movement, rebuilding. They wanted to play some younger players. Aguilar the catch. So Bowman said, I'm used to being on the field for every down. I like to be on every down, and I think I can be on every down. So I said, if that's the way you're going to use me, I'd like to go someplace else. He didn't have to move. He's still living in his home in the Bay Area. Commutes now about an hour to Oakland from down around San Jose. And John Pagano is delighted. They have a great player and a great leader.
What a great job Pagano has done. Coming in here, taking over under tough circumstances for Ken Norton Jr. And he just met Bowman at midseason. What a job they've done against the Eagles.
Remarkable how quickly Bowman learned their system. He signed and played in a game 3 nights later. Richard, the fair catch of the Donnie Jones mutt. Nice night for the Raiders on the road on Christmas. On a chilly Christmas night in Philadelphia, the Raiders leading the Eagles 10-7. Time for the Old Navy total replay.
Well, take a look at the slant and go at the top of the screen. The outside foot is back. Cooper sells a three-step slant. He takes it up and he fools Jalen Mills. It's a beautiful route. He sold it with his footwork and his eyes, and watch Derek Carr pump the slant and fire the go ball for 6. That's the difference in this game. Oakland Raiders have come from across the country on Christmas Eve playing for nothing, and have hit Philadelphia in the mouth with a very good inside running game from Marshawn Lynch and a great vertical strike from Derek Carr to Amari Cooper.
They're 6-8, but it's a lot of the same talent than when 12-4 made the playoffs last year. Carr throws behind Lee Smith. And Jack Del Rio told us he thinks this year is an aberration, that they'll retool, get healthier, come back next year like the playoff team they were expected to be this year. Trendy picked to win the Super Bowl before this season started. Derek Carr said, don't blame everybody else. Jack Del Rio started to come under fire. Some wonder, in fact, that this might be it for him. Seems unlikely, given that he signed a 4-year extension prior to this year after the playoff appearance a year ago. Derek Carr said, you want to blame somebody, blame me. I haven't played well enough. Plenty of blame to go around. Oh, boy.
I don't know what that play was, but Vinny Curry, 6-year man out of Marshall. I love Vinny Curry. Played 5 years here before he got a start. And this year he started all 15 games, but I don't know who's supposed to block him on this particular scheme. Like 86, Lee Smith pulling. Never saw him. Unbelievable. Maybe that'll spark this crowd. I've never heard this joint this quiet.
Raiders now trying to end an 0 for 14 on 3rd and 10 plus. Haven't converted on their last 14. They won't convert on this one. Good open field tackle by Rodney McLeod, one of the best tacklers among NFL safeties. He brought down Jalen Richard.
It's another veteran free agent acquisition by this Eagle organization. The ex-St. Louis Ram. Very good one-on-one tackler. Here's Marquette King. Very good Raider punter. He took over for Shane Leckler, who punted here for over a decade. And here's Barner, deep for Philadelphia.
Barner lined up by the near numbers, expecting a kick in that direction. Started in that direction, lines up right down the near hash marks, and Cordero Patterson watches it roll dead near the 22-yard line. 42-yard punt. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Chase Sapphire Reserve. Best known meeting all time between these two teams, Super Bowl 15 in New Orleans, 1981. 27-10 win for the Raiders, and Al Davis, coached by Tom Flores. But Jim Plunkett, the MVP of that game, threw 3 touchdown passes. He's here tonight. Rod Martin, 3 interceptions. I hate to mention that because it was of our friend Ron Jaworski. In that game, the Raiders became the first wild card team to win the Super Bowl. And they lead 10-7 tonight. Jay Ajayi gets nothing on first down. Tom Flores also here tonight as the color commentator on the radio broadcast alongside the great Greg Papa.
Coach Flores, Jim Plunkett, 2 legendary Raiders. What a tradition the silver and black has. Quarterback and coach, still a big part of this organization.
Nothing doing for the Eagles offense tonight, led by Nick Foles, and now he's collared back at the 12-yard line. Jihad Ward, the Philadelphia native who's played very little this season, with a big sack for Oakland.
Oh, it's a line stunt. Bottom of your screen, there's a line stunt, and Ward just keeps hunting. But it's these stunts, the movement up front, and the relentlessness of this Raider defense that has shocked the Philadelphia Eagles.
A throw for Ward, second-year man out of Illinois. He's been a healthy scratch in 9 of their 14 games prior to tonight. They try to blitz. Good protection by the Eagles, but Foles off target. And it's an ugly 3-and-out. He was trying to get it to Torrey Smith, who was covered by Dexter McDonald.
Well, you see the frustration in Torrey Smith. The timing is just not there. You're going to see on the left side of your screen, Smith has a little separation. I don't know if Nick threw it early. Don't know if Smith was too late, but there's no timing, there's no rhythm, there's no production, none in this Eagle pass offense. These wide receivers have been shut down completely.
2 3-and-outs in this quarter for Philadelphia. Still 5:46 to go in the third. Donnie Jones, good punt. Jalen Richard leaves his way out just shy of midfield. So Oakland leading 10-7 with excellent field position. 51-yard punt, 12-yard return. Back in Philadelphia, 5:35 to go third quarter. Eagles trailing the Raiders 10-7, and this Philadelphia offense really struggling without Carson Wentz tonight.
I think it pretty is obvious what the Eagle fans are missing. This is what they're used to seeing. It's third down and long against the Redskins. There's nothing there, and he's dead in the water. How does he get out of some of these problems? It's like Harry Houdini. Third down and long against Seattle. You got to be kidding me. He finds a way to make plays with his arm, with his legs, and that's why he was a legit MVP candidate. They missed that playmaking tonight. And he is like a Harry Houdini. You've seen Harry Houdini in the old days escape from a milk carton, the water torture escape. This guy's unbelievable getting out of trouble.
How many labels do you have for him? He's North Dakota tough.
Yeah, well, Houdini.
Anything else you want to add? He's on the Wentz wagon.
I just think he's still deserving of the MVP, and Philadelphia's got to prove that they can replace some of this playmaking because they have been completely shut down tonight.
Big possession for Oakland, trying to add to its 3-point lead. Wow, what a hit. DeAndre Washington got stopped in his tracks by Donnell Ellerbe. And there is another flag down on the play on the defensive side of the ball, 47-yard line.
It's only the second game I've seen Ellerbe play as a Philadelphia Eagle, and nobody touched him. Nobody touched Vinny Curry on the last series, and there's going to be big hits when that happens.
Personal foul, illegal crackback block, number 86 of the offense. That penalty has been declined. It's second down.
That's Lee Smith, 86. He missed the block against Curry earlier. Let's take a look at what he does here on a crackback block. That's the call that they want out of football. But they've had some problems with their blocking schemes in the last 2 series. Smith, and that time nobody blocked Ellerbe.
Jim Schwartz talks about we want to attack. That's a big reason why they stop so many running plays behind the line of scrimmage. They're across midfield now, the Raiders, on the diving catch by Seth Roberts. Patrick Robinson touched him down for Philadelphia. Is it a catch? Who knows anymore? I'd say yes.
So alive. And the speed package is back. There's Brandon Graham. He got home earlier in this game. They like to put him over the guard. He got Gabe Jackson earlier. Let's see what he can do inside this time.
Third down and 5. Carr intercepted by Patrick Robinson. He floated one over the middle and it got picked off.
Pressure by Graham up the middle. And a costly interception by Carr. Gabe Jackson at right guard against Brandon Graham. There's a little bit of penetration. Bad route distribution. Jared Cook is in the same passing lane as Seth Roberts. And Robinson. I hate to keep saying it, Sean, but there's another free agent acquisition of the Eagles.
The personnel people have done a great job. Howie Roseman, we mentioned Joe Douglas will be a candidate for GM jobs undoubtedly when this season is over. Joe, another guy who learned at the elbow of the great Ozzie Newsome, longtime GM of the Baltimore Ravens, who's helped develop so many outstanding personnel people. Foles, some ball faking, a rare deep throw downfield. Is it caught? No. Aguilar went diving for the short throw and couldn't rescue it.
Foles hung in there, waited for Aguilar to cross on this deep cross pattern. Aguilar dropped it. What?
Yeah, he should have had it. Throw was all right.
Foles hung in there, and he took a big hit from Darius Layton.
And if you're wondering, their backup now that Foles has ascended to the starting job is Nate Sudfeld. Second-year man out of Indiana. 2nd and 10. Ajayi, nice hole, nice run, first down. He's trying to run over defenders. The ball comes out at the end of the play. Raiders have it.
That's when a lot of big fumbles occur, at the end of plays. They run a one-back power play. It's blocked perfectly, and Ajayi, who is known as one of the best finishers, making yards after contact, keeps fighting, and so do the Raiders. That ball is out.
Reggie Nelson pulled it out. TJ Carey recovered. So he didn't have a turnover in the game until a moment ago, and Robinson intercepted Carr, and now the Raiders take it back. Doug Peterson and his crowd hoping it might be overturned by some sort of replay, but nothing there to lead him to challenge it. Each team with a turnover tonight now. Here come the Raiders again with Marshawn Lynch. And he lost the ball.
Michael Kendricks with the hit, first down, Eagles.
Wow. How about that? Not a turnover all night. Now we have 3 in a matter of moments in the last 4 plays.
Kendricks with help from Vinnie Curry. Ball clearly out.
First time Lynch has fumbled this year. Not just lost fumble, first fumble of any kind. First time it's come out of his hands.
Great effort by Vinnie Curry, Sean. He comes from his backside defensive end position. That's a huge play.
And Marshawn knows it, as does Jack Del Rio. The Eagles looking for a spark. Have at least good field position here at the 30-yard line of Oakland. 3:46 to go. Third quarter, the Raiders leading by 3. Now the turnover all night, all of a sudden 3 in the last 4 plays. Foles took a look at the ball before he faked the handoff. Aguilar's wide open. First down, out of bounds with a pickup of 12 yards. Taken out of bounds by Rodney McLeod.
They do a nice job with plays that look the same that are different. They sell the sweep, and you'll see the linebacker Bowman go with the sweep. And here comes the receiver sliding across the formation, Aguilar, for an easy first down. But they run the sweep. They run the sweep, then they fake the sweep with some beautiful bootlegs, and it's been a really good series for the Eagles.
Going to take advantage of the fumble recovery by Fletcher Cox. First and 10 at the 18-yard line. Ball toward the end zone, too high for Zach Ertz, and then took a hit from Carl Joseph, and the ball sailed over his head.
Well, it's the second time Foles has missed Zach Ertz, and these two played together in 2013 when Foles was a Pro Bowler. But Ertz is open once again, and it's the same route he ran in the first half. He sells the corner route, he breaks back to the post. You've got to put that ball on the receiver. You don't want to extend him in traffic. There's Carl Joseph with a good lick.
Another fake inside handoff and a throw to Ertz, and another good tackle by Carl Joseph, stopping that play for a gain of 1.
Back-to-back plays by Joseph. A man I think Raider fans are waiting to see explode. They brought him in here as a first-round pick. There's a history of great safeties in Oakland. Some say Joseph is undersized, but back-to-back good collisions by Carl Joseph.
Best third down team in the league. 1 third down conversion in 9 tries tonight. This is a tough one, 3rd and 9. 4-man rush for Oakland. Foles with time, a duck, and it's incomplete. It still hit Alshon Jeffrey in the hand. It didn't look very good. And it's been a frustrating night for Jeffrey. Their leading receiver does not have a catch.
Ball's thrown behind him, but Darius Latham, number 75, has laid down Foles twice.
I should point out, leading receiver among their wide receivers, Aguilar, did a great job trying to haul that in before it hit the ground. Couldn't do it. So here's Elliott, who just missed not long ago, the end of the half. And this one's good from 35 after he missed the 33-yarder late in the first half. Back in 30 seconds after a word from Gillette. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters in Philadelphia. 2:13 to go, third quarter, tied at 10. Marshawn Lynch, the fumble, turned into the game-tying points by Philadelphia. A field goal by Jake Elliott.
They're going to need Derek Carr, Sean. They're going to need Derek Carr. He brought the Raiders back 7 times to win. Everybody talks about their 12-4 season, how disappointing they are this season. He brought them back 7 times to win late. He's got that capability. He gets to prove that again tonight, but he's going to have to do it with his arm. This is the #1 rushing defense in football. The Philadelphia Eagles, I believe, they're going to have to throw it to win.
Elliott, the kickoff. Jalen Richard trying to cross the field, cross the 30-yard line, and stopped at the 31. New Year's Day, college football playoff semifinals. Can't wait for that on ESPN. Great that it's on New Year's Day as well. Number 3, Georgia. Number 2, Oklahoma kick things off in the Rose Bowl game at 5 Eastern from Pasadena. Then number 4, Alabama. Number 1, Clemson again. 3rd year in a row in the playoff. This one from the Sugar Bowl, the Superdome in New Orleans. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app. Marshawn Lynch threw a big hole up the middle. And a quality gain on first down. They're over 100 yards rushing as a team against an Eagle defense that started tonight giving up 71.5 rush yards per game. Gain of 15.
They go right back to him. Watch Osemele, the left guard, and rookie left tackle David Sharp. They knocked Tim Jernigan right out of the hole. And I like that call by Todd Downing. Lynch fumbles. No sense in screaming and yelling. Get him back in the huddle. Give him the ball.
Lynch again, and this time the Eagles ready for him. He did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Nigel Bradham leading the way for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're approaching the final minute of the third quarter. This is the most rushing yards that the Eagles have allowed in a game this year, and we still have the fourth quarter to go.
And a lot of those attempts are because of the respect that Derek Carr and the Raiders have for this pass rush of the Eagles.
Second and 11. Draw to Lynch. He did well to get a yard. Actually turned it into a 3-yard gain, moving the pile forward with some help from his blockers, Jackson and Osemele. And here comes third down for the Raiders. They don't have to snap it again in the third quarter.
A lot of different packages that the Eagles use on defense. We talked about the specialty pass rushers, but they use Corey Graham, number 24, as a safety, and it allows them to move around Malcolm Jenkins, who is now playing linebacker in their dime package. This man Jenkins does it all. He plays safety, he plays the nickel corner, and he also plays linebacker in their dime package.
Third quarter is ended. .10 the score. Monday Night Football, Christmas night from Philadelphia. Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team at home remaining in the NFL, 6-0 here, but in a dogfight on Christmas night. Monday Night Football with the Oakland Raiders tied at 10 as we go to the fourth quarter. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters. Merry Christmas, happy holidays from all of us at Monday Night Football. They brought extra people and they knocked the ball out of the hands of Carr. Chris Long got there. It is picked up by DeAndre Washington. Long ran away from the ball, prematurely celebrating. Instead of going after the ball, I don't know if he realized the ball was on the ground. I think he thought it was just a sack. He must have.
Chris Long. He's got 3 strip sacks coming into tonight. That's number 4. And I'll bet somewhere Howie Long is loving this. He had a sack in the first half. It was called back because he was off early, but he's going to work against Marshall Newhouse.
I don't think he had any idea the ball was on the ground and heading in the other direction. Marquette King to punt. Kenyon Barner back deep. Catches it on the run at the 20. He gets swung down at the 27-yard line by Nicholas Morrow, the rookie linebacker. 36-yard punt, 8-yard return. Well, it's Christmas. And he was able, Chris Long, to be with his family today. There's the great Howie Long. And Howie Long Jr., by the way, is a personnel assistant in the Raiders front office.
I know, man. It's unbelievable. How about what Chris Long is doing this year, giving away all that money, Sean?
He's basically giving away all of his money, all of his salary this year to charity.
I've never heard that. I mean, good for this Chris Long.
Well, they're a great family. You know, Howie and Diane and his parents are 2 of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Garrett Blunt going nowhere, even a loss of a yard on the play, driven back by Bruce Irvin.
Put LeGarrette Blunt in there on first down. It's a predictable rundown situation, and Bruce Irvin knew it. Oakland is daring Nick Foles to throw the football. I know it's windy out, it's cold out. Foles has not been under center in this offense with all these teammates for long, but the Raiders are ganging up on the run. And where is Alshon Jeffrey? Sean Smith has pitched a shutout tonight.
Foles with Mack in his face, gets it off, incomplete, looking for Torrey Smith. Here comes third down and 12 with Philadelphia. Now 1 for 10 on third down. John Pagano sending in the defense.
This is Dexter McDonald, Sean, their left corner, who is a backup himself. They're already missing David Amerson. Remember, their rookie first-round draft choice. Gary Conley is out for the season, and Dexter McDonald, in his 3rd year out of Kansas, has filled in nicely. Didn't do much his first 2 years in Oakland, but as a starter, he's performed quite well since John Pagano took over as the defensive coordinator.
You are wondering and you don't know, John Pagano is the brother of Chuck Pagano, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. We talked with John the other day about the tough season the Colts are going through, and you know it as a brother in coaching. When it's a tough season, in the wins and losses, you agonize more than you do really if it's happening to yourself. As you love somebody that much, as John does his brother Chuck. Trouble again with the snap for Foles. Still has time. Running out of it. Khalil Mack had him in his grasp, and there's the sack. Danico Autry having the best year of his 4-year NFL career out of Mississippi State with a big sack back inside the 10-yard line.
It's hard to play quarterback when you don't get a good snap. But here's Khalil Mack. I thought the protection was great. Foles held the ball way too long, and oftentimes it's the blind pursuit that gets you. But it all started with another bad snap. That's the 4th one I've seen from Kelsey tonight. I don't understand the problem.
John Pagano celebrating 16-yard loss. And the Raiders are going to get excellent field position here. They started their own 48. Fair catch made by T.J. Carey of the Donnie Jones punt of 43 yards. 12:18 to go. Tied at 10. Monday Night Football.
Welcome back to Philadelphia, where for the 7th consecutive year, Philadelphia Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins hand-delivered some holiday cheer to needy children and their families last week. He calls it his annual holiday dinner basket surprise, a Christmas tradition he started in New Orleans when he played there and has continued here in Philadelphia. This year, Jenkins and some of his teammates teamed up with the Philadelphia Police Department to deliver toys and food to 140 families, and for some of them, he made the deliveries in person. Jenkins told us that is the fun part, getting out and surprising the families by showing up at their homes. He said it's our way of saying, hey, we're thinking about you. Sean?
Wow, that is awesome. You know what? That really sums him up. I mean, to do that in the middle of the season, and if he's not the NFL Man of the Year, I can't wait to meet him. What a pro football player. What a person he is.
So imagine the reaction of those families when they saw Malcolm, his teammates, those police officers coming to bring them food and gifts. Carr, big one-way, nice play. And Amari Cooper tripped up, and a big tackle by Ronald Darby held it to a 6-yard gain.
Let me show you what Malcolm Jenkins does. He plays strong safety. Then he plays free safety deep in the hole. He plays dime linebacker in their sub package, and he's also a nickel corner. And on that sack by Long, watch who makes the play when Washington picks the ball up and starts running. How about this effort? Whenever there's a problem, a hole in their defense, they use Malcolm Jenkins to plug it. He's a big-time player.
Marshawn Lynch lunging for the first down marker. He's a yard short. Another tackle for Brandon Graham. And we're down to 11.5 minutes to go. Philadelphia with a win tonight would clinch the #1 seed in the NFC and have home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. If they lose tonight, Minnesota still has hope with a win next week and a Philadelphia loss to Dallas.
They've been storming off these multiple tight end sets. This is where they've been going, behind these double tight end sets.
Lynch looks like a first down. Malcolm Jenkins involved in the tackle. Vinny Curry at the bottom of the pile had him around the legs. It's a first down.
Oh, I love it. It's the #1 rushing defense in football. They're the #1 short yardage defense in football. And they are having a hard time dealing with Marshawn Lynch running behind these beasts at guard. Gabe Jackson at right guard, Osemele at left guard, sandwiched between Rodney Hudson, number 61, their Pro Bowl center. What a job they've done inside tonight.
This offensive line, the stalwarts all signed through at least 2019. 2.5 there for Lynch. John, not only were the Eagles the best run defense in the league starting tonight, they were 15.5 rushing yards per game, better than anybody else. That's an enormous margin. Minnesota second in the league in run defense. That Eagle defense playing without Brandon Graham right now, big loss.
Sure is. And Amari Cooper is checked back in. They've limited Cooper's snaps tonight. He's been hurt with that ankle. But he's still a very dangerous receiver.
2 targets, 2 catches. One of them the longest play of the night, the 63-yard touchdown. Carr got hit as he throws it deep. It hangs in the air, and it's almost intercepted by Jalen Mills. Vinny Curry put the pressure on Derek Carr. That ball hung in the air, intended for Michael Crabtree. And Crabtree still does not have a catch tonight.
Vinny Curry, left side of your screen, number 75 on a stunt. Derek Carr has no chance to get anything on the throw. Third down and long. Derek Barnett, first round pick out of Tennessee, checks in at the bottom of the screen, working against the backup in David Sharp, who has held his own. That matchup on the blind side of Carr is one to keep an eye on.
Third down and 8. Eagles bring a blitz. Carr again throws it up for grabs. Flag down. Ball lands well out of bounds, intended for Jared Cook. The flag thrown near where the ball landed. Derek Carr thinks it's against the Eagles.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact. Defense number 41. 5-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
Wow, that's huge.
That's Darby working against Jared Cook on another double move. The same problem that they had against the Giants has been unearthed again here tonight. These corners continue to bite on the first move, and Jalen Mills got burned for a touchdown in the first half, and Darby just committed a critical penalty.
He got a lot of heat for his performance last week locally, but he also had a huge interception and return to set up a Philadelphia touchdown, helped turn that game around. They trailed 20-7, battled back to win. Marshawn Lynch thrown down by Fletcher Cox.
You know, if you like football, you like watching this game, because Fletcher Cox, against these great guards, has had to work against double team schemes throughout the night. And Fletcher Cox is a great pass rusher and run defender.
And on his way to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd straight year. First Eagles defensive tackle to do that since Charlie Johnson back in the early 80s. 2nd and 10. Carr takes off running and slides down. The offensive linemen want a flag for a late hit. There is none. He's at the 30. John, earlier in the game it was pretty clear the wind was going from left to right. As we look at it now, it would be behind the backs of the Philadelphia Eagles. But now, and Jerry Austin, who's worked games in this stadium, tells us it swirls here. A couple of those passes by Carr makes me think it might be into the wind in case it gets to be a field goal try here.
It's definitely windy, and it definitely is swirling wind down there, and it's affected Foles and Carr. And here's Jalen Mills, a man who came into the game injured tonight. We'll try to get to the bottom of this.
Mills down. The rookie Rasul Douglas has run onto the field to take his place. Douglas has played plenty this season. Timeout on the field. 8:24 to go. Tied at 10. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Burger King. Try the new $3.49 2 cheeseburgers meal today. Still Christmas bargains, including at Burger King.
No sacks. Do not get knocked out of field goal range if you're Derek Carr. The Eagles look like they're blitzing.
And they are, and it immediately flushes Carr, forces him on the run. He throws it away.
Chris Long has had a great night tonight. World champion, New England Patriot. Unblocked. They're going to blitz, and everybody's got to block down. Oakland's one short in this 5-man protection, and Chris Long moving around like he did in his earlier days. And this is a big one. And Philadelphia blocked 2 kicks last week, a field goal and an extra point against the Giants.
48-yarder to give them the lead again. He has not missed a kick on the road this year, field goal or extra point. The 27-year-old from Italy, no good. We talked to Lisa Salters down in the field during the last commercial about the wind. She said it was blowing from the right to the left as Tavecchio would have looked at it, so he might have been trying to start it a little bit to the right side, thinking the wind would bring it back, but it did not.
Well, Jake Elliott missed one in the first half for the Eagles. Now it's Tavecchio. The elements not favorable to kick it or throw it. Big reason why we're locked at 10. Don't forget about Khalil Mack. A lot of his sacks, a lot of his best stuff have come in the fourth quarter.
Under 8 minutes to go. Foles, another play fake to Ajayi. It's off the hands of Ertz and intercepted by Reggie Nelson.
Got to give the Raiders credit. And Nick Foles on the bootleg looks like he's shaking up. You're going to see Ertz in the flat, and Reggie Nelson wasn't fooled whatsoever. Foles tried to stick it in there. It's not a great throw. It's away from Ertz's body. Tipped and intercepted.
Well, Foles had gone 170 consecutive pass attempts without an interception. That was the longest active streak in the NFL. That's over. Here come the Raiders right back on offense. And Foles limping a little bit as he went to the sideline. Carr, the pump fake, nowhere to go to his right. Tried to check it down for Marshawn Lynch, and it's incomplete.
They went right after Mills again. Mills got hurt. He comes back, and the Raiders go right after him with the double move. It's another slant and go. And this time, Mills wasn't buying it. I like that play call by Todd Downing. You beat him in the first half, he gets hurt, go after him again.
Marshawn Lynch, plenty of running room. And how about that effort? Looks like they all ran out of gas. The whistle stopped the play. There's a flag down near sideline at the 35-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 86. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Lee Smith has had a terrible night. Point of attack holding, number 86, working against Derek Barnett, the rookie out of Tennessee. Good call. Marshawn Lynch, I remember him coming out of high school, out of Oakland. Oakland Tech High School. He and Adrian Peterson, the top two backs in the country. Nick Foles trying to get loose. He took quite a hit on that interception.
Costly penalty back to the 47-yard line. On 2nd and 20, a screen. Jalen Richard. Lots of running room after the catch. First down. Well, how about the effort of these Oakland Raiders in a disappointing season? Richard separated from Bradham. They are giving it their all tonight, as they should, but you can't always take that for granted.
Well, Rodney Hudson, their center, leads the screen. A lot of people didn't think Hudson would even play tonight. Kidney Stones, Osemele, and Hudson take over against Michael Kendricks, and they set up Richard for a huge first down. Iron Man of the Raiders, Rodney Hudson hasn't missed a snap.
23-yard gain. Richard, nice cutback, another big hole. Takes Malcolm Jenkins with him. The ball comes out late. Rodney McLeod ripped it out. Was he down? The officials are conferring. And I think based on that reaction by Jenkins, they're going to rule the runner down by contact. Well, they still haven't made a firm indication yet. And now the Eagle crowd thinks they're going to get the ball, and they will. Looked to me like the ball was coming out, John, just before the knee went down.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Philadelphia. Please reset the game clock to 6 minutes, 35 seconds, please. 6:35, timeout on the field.
With 6:15 to go. Tied at 10 in Philadelphia. Well, we did not have a turnover in this game in the first half. Now there have been 5, the latest by Oakland. Third turnover. Malcolm Jenkins combined with Rodney McLeod to take it away. And Nick Foles and the Eagles offense from their own 16. Jay Ajayi trying desperately to find any running room, settles for a 2-yard gain.
Once again, a versatility of Malcolm Jenkins. With help from Rodney McLeod, strips the ball out of there. The Raiders have had the ball with great field position 3 times inside the Eagles' 50. They miss a field goal. They throw an interception. Richard gets stripped. And we're still deadlocked at 10.
Very conservative play calling here, as you might expect. With the struggles of this offense tonight, the Eagles still have not reached 200 yards in total offense. They're up to 196. They average 387 per game, 3rd best in the league, behind only New England and New Orleans. But that was with Carson Wentz running the show for most of the year. You used the word streaky in your film study that you share with us this week to describe Nick Foles, and I think we've seen that really in the 2 weeks.
That's exactly right. I've seen him get streaky hot, and unfortunately tonight he's been streaky cold for Eagle fans. And it's a cold, windy night.
Yeah, it sure is. Not an easy night. 15 for 31 for 142. Foles pulled it down under duress, throws it deep and incomplete. Incomplete pass intended for Alshon Jeffrey, who still does not have a catch tonight. And Philadelphia is 1 for 12 on 3rd down.
And it's not all Nick Foles' fault.
No.
There's not a lot of wide open receivers that I have seen tonight. The Raiders have mixed up their coverages. They have matched up their corners. They have made tremendous strides on defense in the last 4 or 5 weeks. And I go back to John Pagano and the job that he and his coaching staff have done.
Short punt by Jones. Richard waving his teammates away. And yet another chance with excellent field position for Oakland. Will they capitalize this time? A 37-yard punt by the 14-year veteran Donnie Jones.
Doug Peterson knows he needs a big play from his defense again. He just cannot find the right play to call. I've never seen this season the Eagles completely shut down. Less than 200 yards of total offense. They need a big play once again from their defense.
The Eagles season low for total offense is 304 yards against San Francisco. They're a long way from that tonight. But the defense keeping them right in there with the Raiders. 4-yard gain for Marshawn Lynch, and the clock will tick down near 4 minutes when they snap it again.
Well, the Raiders told us we are bringing our big boy pads tonight. We are going to fasten our chin straps, put our neck rolls on, and we're going to come storming off the ball. We're going to stay with the running game. And Marshawn Lynch, 24 carries, 97 yards. I haven't seen a 100-yard rusher against Philadelphia in some time.
25 games. In fact, without allowing a 100-yard rusher. Lynch will lose 2 or 3 on that carry. October 20th last year, the Redskins' Matt Jones rushed for 135, the last man to run for more than 100 against the Eagles. Lynch, with that loss, is at 95 yards.
Let's keep an eye on number 32, Rasul Douglas, who's in this game for Philly. He was a healthy scratch last week. Back in action tonight. 31, Jalen Mills is out of the game. Douglas, rookie out of West Virginia.
dancing around, running out of time. Dumps it off to Lynch behind the line of scrimmage, and he's out of time. Back at the 40, run down by Tim Jernigan.
Just can't believe how relentless Chris Long has been tonight. Be interested to see a statistic of how many snaps each of these men have played tonight. But watch Long. He gets chipped by Marshawn Lynch. He keeps hunting. He keeps hunting. Just appreciate effort. Supreme effort. And that's what Long brings to the table.
Marquette King will let the play clock go all the way down. Looked like it had expired before the punt. And it's muffed by Barner, who picks it back up inside the 10 and doesn't go very far. Stacked up at the 12-yard line. Anxious moments for the Eagles and their fans as Barner had trouble picking it up inside the 10-yard line.
Cordero Patterson, one of the best special teams players in the NFL, number 84, had a chance. Seems like Philadelphia has been on this end of the field the entire fourth quarter, Sean. I don't remember their last first down. Raiders have 3 timeouts left, and the 2-minute drill will stop the clock. Eagles got to get a first down for sure here.
And Ajayi spins out of the tackle, and it actually cost him a couple of yards. Bruce Irvin put an end to it at the 5-yard line after Khalil Mack couldn't make the tackle on the original contact.
Khalil Mack ended that play. Wow.
2-minute warning. Eagles on the ropes at home on Monday night. (10-10) the score. Reason for concern on the fans here in Philadelphia. On their faces, they've had 1 first down, to answer your question, John, in this half. They've had 11 yards of offense in this half. And it came on their first play that they had the ball in the third quarter on a Raiders holding penalty.
-2 passing yards and 2 turnovers. Jack Del Rio with 3 timeouts.
Second and 16. Foles under center. Low snaps today. They don't want to risk another one of those up against the end zone. Blunt got them to the 11-yard line.
Well, they run a trap play, and you just don't have a lot of confidence right now in your passing game.
No timeout here from Jack Del Rio. He would certainly use one, you would think, if they get another third down stop.
Mack has gone inside. Haven't seen him in there tonight. Working against a backup left guard.
Twisted to the inside and got picked up. Foles given some time, incomplete. Throwing for Torrey Smith with Dexter McDonald in coverage, and yet another 3 and out for the Eagles, and it should be again great field position for Oakland with 1:17 and all of their timeouts.
Yeah, there's nobody open either. And Dexter McDonald, who was injured earlier in the game, he and Sean Smith, T.J. Carey, have done a great job against these Eagle receivers.
8th punt of the night for Donnie Jones. Jalen Richard, the deepest man for Oakland, standing at his own 45. Low line drive punt that hit near midfield. And they'll start at the 47-yard line. USAA and the NFL pay tribute to our armed forces through the Salute to Service initiative. Tonight we honor Raiders long snapper John Kondo. He supported a variety of military groups, including the Sentinels of Freedom, a nonprofit organization that assists severely wounded veterans
and their efforts to become self-sufficient members of their communities as they transition back into civilian life. Both of John's grandfathers served in World War II. Congratulations to John Kondo. We thank his grandfathers for their service. Number 46, Derek Carr, setting up a screen for Lynch. He broke a tackle, but cannot get away from Kendricks. He did escape Nigel Bradham. He goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 57 seconds to go in regulation time.
And Philadelphia is going to have to get it done with their defense without Brandon Graham. But you're going to see 53, Nigel Bradham, read the screenplay. He beat Rodney Hudson, can't quite wrap up Lynch, but great help from Kendricks and Bo Allen.
Lynch, the running back on the right hip of Carr. Carr pressured immediately, and it's intercepted once again. Ronald Darby up and running. He's going to score. Was he touchdown is the question. Touchdown Philadelphia with 46 seconds to go.
Incredible. Vinny Curry gets credit for this. Great play by Darby. I think he's down.
The ruling on the field is an interception by Philadelphia with the runner down by contact. It'll be Philadelphia's ball, 1st and 10.
Backup left tackle David Sharp held his own tonight, but that time Vinny Curry with a beautiful inside move. Derek Carr has to throw a blind pass, and there's Darby, who had a PI earlier, making a big play for Philadelphia. But Vinny Curry come up huge tonight for the Eagles in the absence of Brandon Graham, who's unable to go with that ankle.
Ruling on the field of an interception by Philadelphia will be reviewed.
Eagles have all 3 timeouts, plenty of time to get in Jake Elliott's field goal range.
But in order to do that, you have to gain a couple of yards, and they've had just a couple in this half. So the question now is not was he down by contact, because he was if it's an interception.
It's got to be a catch, but
well.
well, what?
Well, I would agree with you. You know, and what we all know is football. What was a catch? What isn't a catch? What was an interception? What, you know, yes, it looks like an interception, but there have been more than one announcer.
Yeah. Thank goodness for Duracell batteries, because we've used a lot of replay cameras tonight.
All right, Jerry Austin, Merry Christmas. We just want your family to know you are, in fact, here.
Well, I see him controlling the ball. The ball touches the ground, no question. But the left hand maintains control of the ball. I believe this is going to be a call that stands.
But what does Al Riveron believe?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. It's an interception by Philadelphia. The Philadelphia runner is down by contact. It'll be Philadelphia's ball, 1st and 10 on its own 48-yard line. Please put 54 seconds on the game clock, please. 54.
Philadelphia Eagle pass rush, Sean. Long, Cox, Vinny Curry, Graham. Can Nick Foles get a couple first downs and give Elliott a shot?
He added the time back. He said even though that was the original ruling on the field, I don't think anybody in the stadium knew it, including the clock operator. He didn't hear any whistles, see any officials blowing it dead, but they got it right. Foles over the middle, short gain. Aguilar thrown down immediately by Navarro Bowman. And a timeout called by Philadelphia with 49 seconds to go.
And in the last 4 or 5 plays, John Pagano has moved his surprise pass rusher, Khalil Mack, all over the joint. That time he lined up at right defensive tackle. He's working against backup left guard Warmack, Chance Warmack, filling in for Stefan Wisniewski. And this back that they're leaning on in a 2-minute situation, got to be ready for a blitz. Got to assume at some point John Pagano will take a chance. And they're using a rookie halfback, Corey Clement, in the most critical of situations.
Pulls short again over the middle. Aguilar delivers a stiff arm, has the first down. Still in bounds, so the clock runs. Will Doug Peterson use another timeout? Yes. With 38 seconds to go.
Runs a shallow cross. Good accurate throw, allowed Aguilar to run with it. Aguilar has really made great progress moving from his outside receiver position to in the slot.
Saw the note a moment ago on Elliott. He had a 61-yarder, the franchise record. Longest field goal ever by a rookie to win the game week 3. That was on a one-day at the New York against the New York Giants. Those flags on the top of the uprights are turning. It's windy on the field, folks. As Lisa Salters has said, crosswind about 12 miles an hour. Trying to inch him closer with some safe throws. Out of bounds. It's a cold night. It's like kicking a rock. Elliott's already missed one going in this direction from 33 yards. Wide right when it looked like the wind did knock it from left to right. He hit a slice. How close, if you're the coach, would you feel comfortable? A guy with his big leg, but on a night like tonight.
I think he's got to get another 5 or 6 yards, but with a timeout left, don't lose sight of Clement. Running the ball is not out of the question against this zone defense of the Raiders.
Bulls, another short throw. Ertz out of bounds. Ridden out by Nicholas Morrow. Still 30 seconds to go. The line of scrimmage, the 31-yard line. It'd be about a 48-yard kick from here. You mentioned the big leg for Elliott. He's made his last 5 from 50 plus. So not only does he have a big leg, but he's been very accurate. He's one of the success stories of this season for Philadelphia. Came in having made 22 of his last 24 field goals. Same play over and over again. That time they couldn't complete it. Off the hands of Clement. So it's 4th down. And here comes Jake Elliott, rookie out of Memphis, with the biggest kick of his life. Very well could secure home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs if he can knock this one through.
Will Jack Del Rio ice him with a timeout.
He's 22 years old. Missed from 33 in this direction. Made from 35. That one's heading down the middle. And good with 22 seconds to go.
A lot of ways to win in this league. When you're having a bad night on offense, you got to lean on your defense and special teams. And credit Doug Peterson and this Eagle football team. Carson Wentz, glad to see it. Interception by Darby. The pass rush tonight. Winning edge for Philadelphia.
And this is so often the case, John, in games and in seasons, the turnover margin. You know, Oakland's -2 tonight. They're -11 for the season. Last year they were one of the best turnover margin teams in the league. Philadelphia's +11 in turnover margin this year. Short kickoff. Oakland has some time. Don't put this one in the Philadelphia win column yet. DeAndre Washington brings it to the 36. They have 3 timeouts. And they're a couple of completions away from perhaps a field goal attempt of their own.
Well, Oakland's going to have to drop back and push it now. They do have timeouts, but they have really struggled to pass protect, particularly against Chris Long, number 56, working against Marshall Newhouse. Going to be a zone coverage. Got to protect and let these routes develop. Easier said than done.
Well, Crabtree doesn't have a catch tonight. Carr goes short. But I don't know how much good that was going to do you, John. I mean, he's down to 14 seconds now.
Speed out, stop the clock. I don't understand it, but you're going to need to get a 27 or 28-yard gain to give Tavecchio a chance. You can throw the ball in the middle of the field, take a timeout.
They have all 3 timeouts. 6 or 7 yard gain isn't going to get him much. The priority doesn't need to be getting to the sideline with all 3 timeouts left. You need a gain, and Carr under duress. You said it, John. There it is again. The defense winning this game for Philadelphia if they can stop 1 or 2 more plays on a night when the Eagles have just 215 yards of offense.
Look, it's the best inside pass rush in football. Jernigan, highly paid, ex-Baltimore Raven. Fletcher Cox, highly paid $100 million man. And they put Brandon Graham in there. They have the best inside pass rush in football. And with 10 seconds left, Oakland might consider moving the pocket and getting Carr in a position to launch one.
Yeah, they're going to use the timeout. And why not? You really don't have enough time to use all 3 timeouts with 10 seconds to go. So the Eagles trying to secure the #1 seed in the NFC. Hasn't meant much for them in the past. 2002, they lost to John Gruden's Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the last game at Veterans Stadium. The next year in this stadium, they lost to the Panthers 14-3. 2004 team made it to the Super Bowl, number 39 in Jacksonville. They lost a heartbreaker to the New England Patriots.
Well, Jared Goff took over for the Rams. Case Keenum, an ex-Ram, and Nick Foles, another ex-Ram. Who'd have thought those 3 men potentially leading their teams into the tournament?
Just because the #1 seed hasn't meant much for them in the past. Tremendous amount. They'd love to have it, and it looks like they're 1 step closer. 3 seconds to go now. Time for 1 more play. And it has to be a touchdown or a penalty on the defense for Oakland.
Chris Long is playing the game for nothing. He's donated every check.
Give him credit.
Educational equality. He's playing for nothing. He gave all of his money away, and he's playing better than I've ever seen him play on Christmas night.
Played in the Super Bowl last year, won it for New England. We said, why did you choose Philadelphia? He said, I could see what was coming here. I know they were 7-9 last year, but I thought they were really close. You could see the talent level. Well, he's turned out to be a pretty good prognosticator in addition to his football talents. Still on display in his 10th year.
Well, he's the grinder tonight. This is a Hail Mary play and maybe some type of gadget, but the Raiders have had numerous opportunities. They just have not been able to handle the pass rush of the Eagles, and they've fumbled the ball a couple times in horrible situations.
Tonight when their defense played great, and it hasn't been a great defense. 22nd in the league entering tonight in total defense. They've been excellent. Carr with a question for Ron Torbert.
Prevent defense, 3 men deep for Philadelphia. I might just throw it to Patterson and see if he can run through everybody.
Yeah. Perhaps the play where you try to lateral it around. Yeah, it's going to be a short throw. Cooper Richard, as so often happens, they're going the wrong way. We've seen this happen before as well. The defense scoring on the last play of the game. Derek Barnett. Merry Christmas in Philadelphia.
This is as good a defense as I've seen in Philadelphia since Buddy Ryan had Reggie White, Jerome Brown, and the boys. And a great defense can carry you a long way. Quick throw to Amari Cooper. He laterals it to Richard. It's a bad lateral to Carr, and there's another first-round pass rusher, Derek Barnett. Good night.
And by rule, there will be an extra point attempt. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles, with the best record in the NFL, 13-2. They'll be the #1 seed throughout the NFC playoffs.
Chris Long knows he just played one heck of a game. And
Sure did. Doug Peterson talked to us, John, about how important the home field is. You look at some of the teams that might come here. You know, Minnesota is a cold weather state, obviously, but they play in dome.
Yep.
Other potential teams, dome teams or warm weather teams.
The Rams.
So, yeah, he feels like in New Orleans, Atlanta, perhaps. Dome teams. Now, you don't have to kick it. The rules say you will attempt it, and Doug Peterson, being a sportsman here, has Foles take a knee. Well, congratulations to Doug Peterson and the Eagles. He's certainly a leading candidate among many deserving coaches for Coach of the Year. GMC postgame on SportsCenter coming up next. John and Lisa, Sean McDonough. Merry Christmas from Philadelphia. Here's Scott Van Pelt.